Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nick Legg. I'm the CIO and CTO of doForms, and today I'm going to have the pleasure of presenting the new wave of GPS functionality. First, I want to thank everyone for attending today's doForms Mobile Transformation Day. Hopefully, you got a lot of value out of it. I know if you've listened to some of the other sessions, they've touched on GPS. We're going to go through a lot of those highlights. The intent of the day is not to walk through every little detail of the GPS capabilities of doForms, but to touch on some of the new things that are coming out, what's already there that might be an advantage to you. And we'll have subsequent webinars, we'll have subsequent presentations that you could attend to get a lot more details out of this. But we're just kind of go through some of the basics and some of the new features. So I'll go ahead and start. So one of the things is mobile data collection and GPS. So you might ask yourself, why have GPS with mobile data collection? And if you listen to John's session, he kind of talked through how this is a perfect marriage of what you're doing on your mobile device, what information you're collecting in the field, whether you're doing an inspection or work order, a timesheet or anything like that. You might want to qualify that or quantify it with having GPS data behind it. Were you actually at the location? Was your technician there? Did they arrive on time? So this is a perfect marriage of being able to get digital data in the field through your preferred smart device and having that GPS capability on it. So next, we'll kind of talk about that capability with being able to leverage new devices. So smartphones today, your mobile devices, your tablets, they're much more powerful. Just even from a few years ago, the GPS capabilities are, extremely more accurate. In some cases, we're going to see things that have accuracy down to sub 10, 11 feet. You may even get more accurate than that. But using doForms, you can use your preferred smartphone, your preferred tablet on your preferred carrier, and be able to take advantage of those new devices and leverage the accuracy you're going to get out of those. So you're going to have a lot better improved GPS just because of these new devices. Some devices might have GPS receivers, which will improve it. Other devices may take advantage of network triangulation. Others may even do Wi-Fi triangulation. So if you're using Wi-Fi hotspots, they'll get GPS readings from there. Just some of the basic things that you're going to get, with doForms out of the box is you're going to know when the application starts. So we'll kind of talk through that a little bit later. But this is going to let you know if the doForms app closed on your smartphone or on your tablet. You're going to get device low battery detection. So you might know if your technician in the field's tablet or smartphone has got a low battery. And that'll give you some capability to kind of get insight whether they need a charger, an extra battery, or so forth to complete all their jobs for the day. I added this last bullet because a couple other of John's presentations, there are questions about Bluetooth support. It's not specifically a doForms feature, but our mobile app can take advantage of Bluetooth GPS devices. So we've tested a few over the years. So if you've got specific questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is nlegg, N-L-E-G-G, @doforms.com. And this is going to depend on your hardware. So some of it, if your device supports Bluetooth GPS, we've got customers that use highly accurate Leica GPS because they need sub 3 feet accuracy. In general, most of the ones we've tested off the shelf are going to give you sub 10 feet, sometimes sub 5, 6 feet accuracy with these devices. Certainly, if you need that level of support, it's built in there with our capabilities with those devices. Basic features out of the box, obviously, you're going to get latitude, longitude, altitude. We've got some customers that are repairing cell towers or working on construction sites where altitude is relevant. So same thing, you may be able to leverage that with Bluetooth GPS to get a little bit more accuracy and altitude, but we'll be able to pull that from your device. There's settings capability within the device and then the mobile app where you can improve the accuracy. Obviously, the more accurate you want it, it may take a little bit longer to get that GPS coordinate and back down to our app. But with today's hardware, it's pretty accurate. We've been pretty impressed with what we've seen. Customers have been pretty happy with it. So you'll take advantage of that. There's also capabilities to track start and stop times, moving times of your devices. You're going to get speed, you're going to get direction, you're going to get heading. Now, obviously, we're leveraging your smartphone and your tablet. We're not going to have the same level of accuracy that you might have with in-vehicle installed devices. We certainly partner with some of those providers out there. So if you need something that's in vehicle, reach out to us. We'll gladly link you up with one of our partners. But being able to take advantage of the capabilities of your device, you're going to get that speed. So it's going to be approximate. It's going to be pretty close. Direction, heading, same thing. You're going to know which direction things your devices, your vehicles might be traveling. We're going to be able to tell you the distance traveled and the travel time. As part of one of the capabilities for settings, you can even set tracking schedule. So you might have a user, someone in the field who's taking home a company device. Well, you might want to tell the device, record from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., but stop recording after 6 p.m. and don't start again to the next day, or don't record on the weekend. So we certainly want to respect anyone's privacy, but this is completely configurable, and you've got full control over that capability. All right, Google Maps, they're the big player out there. They're prolific. Everybody knows how to use them. So we've kind of leveraged that within our interface for the portal and within the mobile app itself. So within Google Maps, you're going to be able to look at a specific individual's location. You can even create groups. So this could be a group of installers, a group of inspectors, or a group of technicians that you can go out and view, where their current location is. What's also nice, you can see throughout the day, that breadcrumb trail. So you might have a technician who starts out at 6 a.m. and goes through 5, 6 different stops, fills out 5 or 6 different forms with doForms, and you're going to be able to see all that play out through the course of the day with this, playback. A lot of customers find that pretty useful. You might see, maybe someone's, traveling more than other users, and you notice they go to a different gas station that's further away. The breadcrumb trail gives you that insight, by individual. You can also get address. With the GPS, tracking, we're going to get the latitude and longitude, but you might want to reverse geocode. So we're going to be able to look that up and see where that coordinate converts back to a street address. So if you're near a street address. The other nice useful feature for dispatchers is what's called Find Closest To. So you can go to our Google Map interface and find an address, and then find a technician who might be the closest to that address, or closest to a stop. So that's been a pretty powerful feature as well. Open address and get driving directions is on the mobile app side. So you might have a technician in the field that's going off to a job. They want to open an address in Google Maps. They can leverage that directly from the app, or they can even get navigation and driving directions to that location from the app as well. One of the other features, then this touches more on dispatch, and I know it was on some of the other sessions. I just kind of want to bring it real quick. So with the GPS coordinate data that we're getting back on a regular basis, there's also ability to send statuses, with that and display it on the map. So this is relevant when you've got a large fleet or a group of users out there, and you want to know if they're on or off duty, on or off lunch, on or off break, or on or off other. So this enables you to get that status real time displayed in that map back in the portal. Geofencing. This is a really new feature. This is going to be part of Workforce Manager that we'll be releasing in the coming days. This is really kind of changes a lot of things for us. Traditionally, we're just collecting latitude and longitude and locations and information like that. But when you add a geofence, that's your ability to put a circle with a radius around a home, an address, a depot, a customer, and you can add that by putting the street address in. You can search by the name of that location, and then you can set it into the mobile app, and you can set it into our portal. And it's all set by radius. And there's 3 different types of geofences that we allow. There's an account level. Today, we're going to allow you to start with 20 account level geofences. So as I mentioned before, you might want to set up your depot. You might want to set up a warehouse or a home office or things like that, or a popular gas station that you can set across all your users for account level. Then there's a user level geofence. This might be the user's home, or this might be where the user picks up their vehicle each day. So you can track where they're from that location. And then there's dispatch level. So when you're dispatching with doForms, you now have the ability to add a geofence widget. And what that means is you can put a specific address or location in your dispatch, and you can track that address with the dispatch. And that gives you the ability to monitor arrival, departure, and duration inside of any of these geofences. So this is a really powerful feature. We're not going to give a demo today, but we're going to have other videos and webinars to kind of go through this, as this has been a very popular request over the years. So we think customers are going to be pretty excited about being able to have geofencing and monitor arrivals, departures, and durations. Reporting. Reporting is going to be one of those things that we've got some starting reports, and you may get advanced over time. Certainly reach out to us if there's some things you're looking for. But you're going to be able to get individual trip reports. So this is going to show your your user, your driver, technician out in the field and all the trips that he or she may take throughout the day. This is going to be just general activity, where they started, where they stopped, where they ended. The next type of reporting is going to be called geofences. Geofences is going to be everything that you've set up as a geofence that you're going to want to be able to go back and look at. How many times was the depot visited by all your drivers in the field? How many times was a specific customer visited, and just get a geofence report. Then you're going to have the stop report. So this is going to show every stop that driver or technician made throughout the day, and kind of give that ability and visibility of what's happening throughout the course of that driver. And you may not look at it on a daily basis. So what's really powerful about the doForms Workforce Manager portal is you can go in, look at Google Map, you can set a date, you can look at all your information, you can get it by the week, and kind of see what's going on either for your individual users or for groups, and be able to pull that stop report. And then lastly, we're going to provide a timesheet report. This is probably one of our most requested reports, and I think John's alluded to it, Anthony's alluded to it, is that users want to know when someone starts their job for the day and when they end the job. So there's a lot of native features that are built into doForms for timesheets, but the timesheet report is going to allow you to tie that in with your geofences, tie that in with your GPS tracking, to kind of get all that information into your reports. It's a lot of features. We've covered a lot of things. You're going to see some pretty nice videos coming out here shortly that will kind of walk through all the GPS capabilities, GPS tracking, and hopefully you'll be excited as we are about GPS. I know John's pretty enthused on all the capabilities that our customers will have with geofencing and GPS and tracking. And like I said, we're not looking to replace the in-vehicle installation. We're not tracking ignition on and off and things like that. This is a very cost-effective way to leverage your new smartphone, your new tablet, to collect GPS data, get it quickly, and tie it in, most importantly, with the data that you collect with doForms. So we're pretty excited about that. Certainly hope you reach out to me if you've got any questions specifically about GPS, you want to learn more information. That's really all I had. It was kind of short, but I don't know if there's any questions or anything like that. Feel free to reach out any questions. You certainly can email me directly, nlegg@doforms.com, and I can provide you any questions you have. Certainly, you can reach out to your mobile solutions consultant, your reseller partner, if you'd like to try out Workforce Manager and then get a demo of these GPS capabilities and geofencing capabilities within Workforce Manager. Check real quick. Is there any questions that are coming in? I don't see anything. Short and sweet. I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for joining. Oh, let's see. Yeah, you can set the GPS tracking, in the background. So there's two different things. There's what we call a GPS stamp. A GPS stamp is when you actually are initiating in the form to take the GPS coordinate, the latitude, longitude, altitude. GPS tracking is enabled behind the scenes. So you can enable that by the device. As I mentioned before, you can set a schedule, and that occurs behind the scenes. And you can set the interval, whether it's 5, 10, 20 minutes, it collects that behind the scenes. And the same thing occurs for geofences. So the user, as long as they've got the doForms app, and as long as it's able to run in the background, it's going to be able to do the GPS tracking, collect those latitude, longitude, as well as the geofences, and setting the alerts around it as well. It depends. The question is, does this occur if the app is not open? So that's going to depend on your mobile device, as long as the doForms mobile app has the capability to run in the background. So whether you're on iOS or on Android, there is a setting where you can allow apps to run in the background. It gets a little more tricky if you're using an MDM, a mobile device management solution. You'll need to contact your IT coordinator there to kind of set those parameters. But as long as doForms is allowed to collect GPS in the background, and that's just one of your settings. It says to allow always, to allow when open, or not at all. So if you allow always, it certainly will do that. If you allow only when the app is open, that means if your user closes the doForms mobile app, they will not be able to get any geofences or any GPS coordinates while the app is closed. Anything else? All right. Well, I certainly appreciate everybody joining in. We finished kind of early. I'm sorry I'm a bit of a fast talker, so I apologize for that. But this video will be uploaded online. We'll have more sessions and more videos. Once again, you can feel free to reach out to me directly if you've got any questions. And thank you again for joining doForms Mobile Transformation Day. And thank you for your continued support of doForms. Thanks.